Alright. Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Gab Boy, here with another figure review. Or the first figure review.
The what?
Shiny forehead, like right here. Put some light. Is it because of where that light is?
Nah.
Huh? What up, y'all? It's your boy Taylor here with the figure review number 1 for the 1000 Toys Nero. So let's get into everything. The figure is included with this huge box. And I love the artwork on the back of the box. I can't even fit it in the frame, that's crazy. Here is the side of the box. And here is the front. Let me zoom out and give you a full view here. It is ginormous. But has a nice little slip cover to it, which is great. And then has a clear view behind it, which is amazing. It's also included with a stand. Most third-party companies, I'm not really a fan of any stands, really, with any type of figure company, except when it comes to, obviously, the Figma-related stands or the SH Figure Arts. But this one is pretty great. I actually have no real complaints about this one. Outside of this little peg device at the bottom, so it notches into the little grooves that you'll see on the actual stand, which makes it a little wobbly. Here, let me see if I can show you right quick. So you plug it in and it just kind of already slips out as it is. But when you get it to stay, it's pretty sturdy, which is great outside of that. And I just love this clear stand. This is nice. I don't know if this is something that's included with all 1000 toy figures, but if they are, that's great. I'm definitely for it. Also included is a, I don't know if you want to call it like a booklet or a magazine, I guess, or instructional pamphlet. Nice little cover, and then it goes over each individual accessory included. I know it's in Japanese, but it also has the names of the individual arms in the game. I wish I could tell you them all, but yeah, I guess I'm not that big of a fan that I thought I was. But this is a nice little attachment. I really appreciate little things like this that kind of explain how the head joint pops out, which is great. It's pretty sturdy. I haven't had any issues with anything popping out, where the weapon on the back of Nero pegs into. Yeah, some great engineering with this. We'll definitely get into it. So taking a look at the alternate accessories that we have for this guy, he is really loaded with a bunch of extra cool little goodies here. This is the first figure I've gotten from 1000 Toys, and I'm pretty impressed here. I really got a lot of bang for my buck. It's included with a total of 8 alternate, I guess you want to call them weapon hands. His pistol, his sword, 4 alternate hands, and 2 alternate faceplates. To be honest, the 2 alternate faceplates, in my opinion, they look extremely similar. You might notice the subtle differences with the eyebrows and how aggressive, I guess, his face is. But sure, I'll take it. These are pretty great. They really killed it here. Now, jumping into the figure, this guy is amazing. They really knocked it out of the park with this one. Definitely with Nero being one of my favorite characters in the series. They've definitely done him justice here. Obviously, if you can tell, this one has, instead of a hard cape jacket, it's actually on a bendy wire made out of cloth, which is perfect. It never gets in the way of anything with the articulation. To be honest, my issue with a lot of cloth material that's on a lot of figures is that it tends to get a little bulky. This one, not bulky in any way, shape, or form. I know that I kind of did mention the alternate hands that are included with the figure, but he's also included with 2 additional hands. And again, if you're familiar with the game, you're familiar with how this system works, where Nero is able to switch out of different weapons in the middle of the game. So yeah, really nice, again, a close attention to detail here. As far as the articulation goes, let me go ahead and take this jacket off. I'm gonna actually take this off over the camera so you guys can see how much of a hassle, or not a hassle in my opinion, that this is. Typically what I do is I just take off the alternate arm first. It has a nice peg system, which is pretty easy to deal with. It comes up and comes on and comes off pretty easily. Just go ahead and pull that off of him, pull it out of the other arm. And again, take another look at this jacket. It has a really cool detail in the back where the weapon, the sword that sits on the back of him, pegs right into the back of the jacket, so that way the jacket doesn't even get in the way at all. And a nice little cool hood to add on to everything, which is great. But taking a look at the figure, this guy is cool. One thing that I like that they're implementing, that a lot of figure companies I see are implementing, like McFarlane Toys, with their My Hero Academia, what is it, Shoto, the dude who's like half flame, half ice. They both have this system in the center for the ab crunch, where instead of it showing that there's a ball peg there, it actually bends in, so it gives the illusion that there's no joint there, but there is. It is a little on the thick side, if I might say so myself. But outside of that, I mean, I really don't mind it. It is seamless, where you kind of rarely notice it. There are some positions that, you know, do make it a little odd, I guess you could say. But in my opinion, it's held pretty well, you know. Outside of maybe the peg on the back that houses his sword, everything else looks pretty seamless as far as hiding the joints go. We have some really good neck articulation. Even the neck itself does a pretty good job of hiding the gaps for where the ball joint is, which I really appreciate. Unless you're overextending things, you know, you're not really gonna notice a lot here. When it comes to the arms, because of this chest piece being, you know, a floating piece of plastic essentially, these arms aren't connected essentially to it. So in some poses this does, like I mentioned, you know, you get the little, or it does show a bit of the gappage if you really go out there as far as articulating. But just in a standard pose, this guy, it's almost seamless, where you don't see any of the joints included at all. On top of that, the arm, we have a double joint system, which I really appreciate. Not a lot of companies add those kind of articulation add-ons there. And then when it comes to the legs, all of this is so new compared to most companies, but I really appreciate how they're handling this, where the knee joint, it overextends all the way out. I'm not a fan of how this part, the kneecap, how this looks, but to be honest, everything else looks pretty great on the figure. As far as gripes go, I don't really have any real issues outside of this being a giant floating piece of plastic. But again, I mean, a lot of it is seamless once you get them posing, and posing is almost limitless. I mean, if you look at the box art on the side here, this guy is great. They really killed it here. So this is Nero compared to a standard 6-inch Marvel Legends figure. He definitely fits great in scale. So yeah, definitely something you might want to add to your collection if you're a fan of Devil May Cry 5, the character Nero. If you just want to give this new company 1000 Toys a shot, I definitely would vouch for them. They definitely killed it here. I think I paid around maybe 80 retail US dollars when I originally picked up the figure. I might want to take a look, and I'll list a link and a pricing below if you guys are curious to see how much this is retailing for. But to be honest, as far as most figures go, this one is definitely a good bang for your buck. Like I mentioned, it's included with a bunch of accessories. They really killed it. I'm surprised and very pleased as a customer goes. Some gripes that I do have that I'm now kind of noticing along the lines are, I do have issues with the alternate hands. When you are handling the figure, just try to be careful. The thumb peg that holds the weapon, the sword, broke off on me. So it still works. I'll go ahead and put that on for you guys just so you can take a look at it. But in general, I like how it snaps in there nice and tight. But yeah, he's missing a thumb, which isn't too great, but in the long run, it isn't extremely noticeable. so I don't really have that much of a gripe about it. Everything else is held up pretty well. The stitching on the cloth has sat well. And the crazy thing about it is you can even try fitting it on some alternate figures if you like as well. So yeah. So again, feel free to comment below. Just a heads up, I'll be doing a lot of custom review or custom figure reviews here. I know that there are a lot of custom artists that are out there who I feel don't get a lot of shine. So I'm gonna have some content that's coming up for you guys, kind of going over, you know, how to get a custom figure, how to approach these people, and you know, how to not get scammed. So yeah, all right, peace y'all. Bye.